It's a 35-minute video, dude. Like it's pretty large. I want to see what he has to say, dude.
I'm Jack Sather, and today we're talking about the state of Overwatch. This is a game once beloved by many.
How many videos have started out with the state of Overwatch, by the way? I feel like there's like hundreds of them now.
I mean, me included. It won Game of the Year in 2016. It's basked in the light of an excited, supportive fan base. But if you were to look at its Steam page today or give it a quick YouTube search, you would think that it was the next Logan Paul scam that CoffeeZilla is about to expose. Now, there's no denying that Blizzard has tainted the Overwatch name with the blunders of its sequel, but does that mean it's ruined for good? That's the question that we're answering today.
Wait, hold on.
But does that mean it's ruined for good?
Probably.
That's the question that we're answering today, and I hope you're buckled in because it's a bit of a bumpy ride, and I think a great place to start is at the beginning. Pong.
Oh, I like the little tracer recall animation.
The first video game is... All right, do we need to go this far back? It's 2016, and this was Overwatch, which I think most of you know was a 6v6 team-based first-person shooter with a large cast of heroes to choose from, each with unique abilities and different roles. You'd work together to complete map-based objectives to win the game. The game at launch was $40. I personally think they could have gotten away with $60, but you also got to factor in it was like one of the first games without a campaign and online only. But man, was this game something else.
When I heard it was $40, I was like, oh, that's nice.
That special Blizzard polish. They were like the Pixar of gaming, and I mean that kind of literally. Like, how amazing were the cinematic trailers for Overwatch? How legendary was Dragons with Hanzo and Genji, Hero with Soldier 76, and freaking Bastion cinematic trailer?
Dude, I mean,
do you want to see me get emotional on camera? The art direction of Overwatch was simply superb. Their art team is so talented to this day, and the art style made the game not too demanding technically. Everything was so vibrant and welcoming. Every character was so different and unique. From a robot ninja to a woman with extremely tight pants to the Grim Reaper.
That fair play there, man. That just killed me. That honestly right there, this play right here. This Widow play, or sorry, Pharah play.
So vibrant and welcoming.
Right here, this.
Every character was so different and unique.
Like that was probably platinum. Like in Overwatch 1 at the beginning, like that was probably plat / possibly diamond gameplay. You know, those are the people that were like,
robot ninja.
They're like, bro, I don't know what to do. I don't know why I'm ranking it. I need to get more W's, man, but I don't know what's going on. And then fast forward 4 years when everyone knows how to play the game, and it's like platinum players are literally equivalent to what GM players are like at the beginning of Overwatch 1. Like season 1 of Overwatch 1, GM players then are like plat players now. Like 100%. I go back and watch GM gameplay from Overwatch 1, and it was comically bad gameplay in GM.
To a woman with extremely tight pants, to the Grim Reaper himself, to another woman with extremely tight pants, to a big old monkey, to another woman with extremely tight pants. I mean, they had it all. There was so much to play with and experiment with. And there were so many things big and small that made the game so satisfying to play. Like the distinct elimination sounds, the ragdoll physics after you kill the character. I mean, dude, getting a bow headshot with Hanzo. Come on.
Bless. I miss big shatters.
Wait for the game to...
Dude, you just don't get big shatters anymore. That's so sad, man. Do you guys remember when Overwatch first came out, dude? And like, you didn't have all this immortality and stun shit everywhere, and you could just get big shatters. Like, you could get 3-4 man shatters pretty frequently. God, it made Reinhardt feel so good to play.
I remember feeling like a freaking addict going through withdrawals in anticipation to play this game again. I was in a cold sweat at night, dreaming about satisfying kills, pulling off clutch death blossoms as Reaper.
No, you weren't. Don't lie.
Much different kind of dream. And I also had some really random dreams about like World War II.
Now we're talking.
This video is brought to you by War Thunder. Thank you, War Thunder, for sponsoring this video and supporting my channel. Do you like films like Fury, Dunk? Finally, on May 24th, 2016, Overwatch officially launches. And I was one of millions that were instantly hooked to the game. There was just nothing else like it on the market. The game was just so fun and addicting and cooperative, even though there were so many games where somebody would insta-lock their favorite character, resulting in a pretty much instant loss. You got loot boxes for free. Weird concept nowadays, for leveling up and a few other ways, and you could buy them, but you got so many that even I, an occasional sucker for a cosmetic microtransaction, was never even tempted. That being said, it did successfully tempt some people, because by 2019,
that was my big problem with it, was that I played the crap out of Overwatch 1. But when you rack up all the money I spent on it, I maybe over like 5-6 years spent maybe $200 on Overwatch. Fast forward to now, dude, with the battle pass, I don't even want to know, dude, how much money I've spent. The like the loot box system was good, and it was nice because if you played the game a lot, you were rewarded for it. You didn't have to spend as much money on the game if you just like grinded the game out, which we did. We played like 6 to 8 hours, like 5 days a week. It was crazy. So I never really was somebody that bought loot boxes, and I never understood why people bought loot boxes. But now, man, dude, they're milking me. That's why I had to stop. I literally had to stop like buying shit, you know?
Overwatch made $1 billion off of loot boxes. The game just kept on giving with updates and characters added to the game that we got for free. Remember, for free. And these updates were brought with some of the best community interaction I've seen in video games. How great was it when Jeff Kaplan, the game director of Overwatch, would do those developer updates and put them on YouTube?
Welcome back, everyone.
I miss Jeff so much.
This is Jeff from the Overwatch team.
He'd explain changes and the mindset.
God, those were the best days.
It was so transparent and refreshing coming from a AAA studio. This dude was like the Mr. Rogers of gaming. And he wouldn't beat around the bush of what's not working with the game. He would call it out and explain how his team is trying to fix it and what they're doing and what's coming next. It was just one guy representing his team, talking directly to us, the fans. Also, as somebody who puts themselves on camera all the time, Jeff did like 15-minute one takes. That is like so hard to do. I don't get how people like Ludwig do this either. Like, do they just have some sort of special theater kid wiring that I'm missing? I can barely get 3 lines out before I have to do a jump cut to a
Jeff sat there for a while. It wasn't really scripted. He definitely had talking points, but he just sat there and like hit the talking points. You can tell by the cut style that he didn't stop. Like, this wasn't like individual takes. There's like, all right, you got to talk about this stuff, and you're just like, boom, 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 boom. Especially for a game dev, dude, it's not that bad, man.
Art joke to keep the video moving. Do you guys also remember how Sombra was revealed? It was like this mass decoding investigation for the community to pick apart, finding clue after clue, revealing more about who the character was going to be. I used to binge O'Nickel videos explaining every new breakthrough until her reveal. Now, Overwatch wasn't a perfect game. You know, it doesn't come without its annoyances. Like I said earlier, people in quick play insta-locking, and even once roll queue came to the game, players were not ready for how long the wait times were going to be. Personally, I felt like some of the characters were a drag to play, like especially some of the supports like Mercy and Lucio, but they were critical to have on most teams, so you kind of like got forced into playing them a lot, you know, if you weren't a selfish prick. New characters kept the game fresh, but they also broke the game quite a bit. Characters like Orisa, Moira, Doomfist, and especially Brigitte, these characters changed the game in a lot of...
Change my mind. Orisa wasn't bad for the game. Her old Orisa wasn't bad for the game. New Orisa sucks. New Orisa makes the game so much more lame. Old Orisa, I might be biased because I had fun playing with her. I thought the pull was fun. It wasn't that annoying for players. If you hit a good pull and got them off the map, I mean, honestly, that's just a positioning diff, you know? And the shield wasn't that OP. I miss old Orisa, man. God, the new one sucks.
Of frustrating ways, adding a ton of CC to the game, and some things would get patched
Doom sucked,
fixed, but then another part of the game
I hated DPS Doom.
It seems like over time, towards the end of
Disrespect
Overwatch 1,
Silver.
players were just sick of all the balancing issues. By the way, I learned a lot about the balancing issues in the competitive side from Nate Sun's video, The Rise and Fall of Overwatch. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Link in the description. I was a player that left around the time of Brigitte's release, which was March of 2018. And it actually has nothing to do with her character. I was just kind of tired of Overwatch. I think a lot of people were. And I don't even think it's really anything dramatically wrong with the game. It was Brig. It was just its time. You know,
no, it was Brig.
It wasn't you. It's us. I will say the game didn't have great...
Yeah, it was Brig. A max exodus of players happened because of Brig. A ton of content creators, a ton of professional players, all left. Which that plummeted everything. Like when you see all these professional like people pulling out, all of a sudden the interest in the game fades. You know, when people are investing in it, when all these players are pulling out, nobody wants to play
incentives to keep players playing. After getting the skins that you wanted in the game, there wasn't really like a lot of progression in the game or anything to work towards, like besides maybe ranked, which you could get these golden guns, which I always thought was kind of a weak reward. Plus, I like to play video games and have friends, and that usually means for me having to steer clear away from any ranked modes in games. Overwatch didn't have enough being shaken up about it to keep players' interest. There's a reason why this thing is so itchy. There's a reason why Fortnite is still the popularity king of video games, whether you like it or not, and it's because the game just keeps reinventing itself. Overwatch never really started doing that, so the game slowly started to fade into the background as new games came and went. Simply put, Overwatch was getting old.
Oh, don't hit me with
This
that.
brings us to November 1st, BlizzCon 2019.
And if you still play Overwatch, you're old. Ow.
When Overwatch 2 was announced. I was genuinely caught off guard by this because by Blizzard standards, this was really early to get a sequel for a game. And it had an art style
Very
with graphics
early.
That totally held up.
Dude, that was
with combat that
2019.
didn't really feel outdated, so what's the big reveal? They announced the main reason for the sequel was money, a PvE mode for Overwatch.
Yeah.
They said they were gonna redefine what a sequel is.
Nah,
and that
this
is
is
sure
no,
one way to put it.
This didn't happen, chat. They never said that they were going to release a PvE. This guy's it's slander. It's propaganda. They never said they were going to do PvE. Chat, you're all just slandering my beautiful company Blizzard. All right. They never promised a PvE. All right. They just promised a standalone campaign that you could play with your friends against enemy AI that they said was going to revolutionize how enemies react to you shooting them and engaging with them. And they were going to add a skill tree. And it was going to be a completely separate game, co-op experience that you could replay and has high replayability. And it took them 4 years to make. And then they abandoned the project completely and then just did a soft patch update to Overwatch 1. See, they didn't promise PvE, dude. Come on, guys.
Jeff Kaplan gets on stage and announces story missions and hero missions, which is basically a campaign and highly replayable co-op missions, like co-op Spec Ops from Call of Duty. You know, that really successful mode of Call of Duty.
Spec Ops.
Apparently there were supposed to be hundreds of these missions.
The goal is...
Dude, don't shit talk Spec Ops. Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops, oh, that was creme de la creme. Do you guys remember those Spec Op missions? The winter one where you had to sneak around in the sniper, the snow map, or the one where you're in the airplane field and you had to kill all the juggernauts? Dude, that was replayable right there.
As many as possible.
Oh my God, Spec Ops was
They
so
also
much
showed a
fun.
level up system for each hero with customizable abilities that actually looks pretty cool, showing variations of classic moves you saw in Overwatch 1. Jumping ahead for a second to 2021, they also showed hero talent trees, which contain between 30 to 50 hero talents for each hero, which is crazy to think about. On the low end, that's like 1,000 unique talents you have to build out, and I imagine somewhat balanced. They also show some new maps with weather effects that make the game look really cinematic.
Oh yeah, what happened to that?
Look really cinematic. We never get this. But check it out. Our hero's got some new looks. Widow's hair is in a braid. Bastion got a new hat. And we don't have to see Hanzo's dirty ass nipple anymore. Just kidding. I don't mind the man's titty. They also announced one new character, Sojourn, to the game, with many more on the way. The presentation also had some
to be fair, they delivered a lot of
score to help
heroes.
sell the hype, and it worked. People were hyped for Overwatch 2.
Dude,
I was
the trailer
kind of excited
slapped.
for Overwatch 2. Kind of. I'm not trying to say like I was above it all, like I saw through all the BS. No, I didn't, but I will say I never really loved the PvE modes that were added to Overwatch 1. Something about fighting these robots is just so unsatisfying to me. I'll give it to them, they're well designed, but there's no like character or soul in them. There's no life you're ending. And the developers were aware of this. Jeff Kaplan even said after testing the game,
I mean, we played them, but we didn't replay
it's
them.
not engaging enough. If anything, I was looking forward to more creative swings and a revitalization to the PvP, Overwatch's bread and butter. But unfortunately, the only news we get there is about some tweaks to the character roles and a new game mode called Push, which, I don't know. Am I crazy, or do all game modes in Overwatch feel the exact same? Isn't everything just like stay on the point? Anyway, the majority of fans seemed excited for the vision of the sequel.
No, I probably disagree with that. I feel like the game modes are pretty distinct from each other. The only ones that are kind of similar, I mean, obviously Koth and Flashpoint, and maybe Payload and Push, just because Push is just a little... as you play it, it's just a worse escort mode essentially. But I think they did a pretty good job. I think as far as game modes go, they're pretty distinct. And for a game that's a PvP shooter that's objective based, which is why it is very fun, typically you do need to be near the objective to win. So I think they did pretty good.
After 2019, the developers told us that they're going to be stepping away from Overwatch 1 because they had to put all hands on deck for Overwatch 2. They released Echo, The Last Hero, in April of 2020, and for the next 2 years, Overwatch was left in the dust with virtually no new content, left to languish and becoming stale at a rapid pace. And if we were to take a look behind the scenes...
What? Is that a... Hold on.
Overwatch was left in the dust with virtually no...
What is this? Was this in the... Did Mercy used to leave a trail of fart dust behind her?
New content left...
Was that a thing? Wait, is that a thing? And I just don't have my graphic turned up enough? Bro, why have they not brought this back? Oh, that would be sick for a skin. Bro, oh, you could have just dropped that with the Christmas skin, man. You don't have to make it as intense, but like give it a little bit of like a snow. Oh, that's so they have the technology for it.
And becoming stale at a rapid
They just choose
pace.
not to.
And if we were to take a look behind the scenes, things at Blizzard were spiraling into a chaotic, turbulent time with Bobby Kotick at the helm. Bobby being the CEO of Activision Blizzard, aka the greedy goblin of gaming. And I'm not just hopping on the bandwagon of Bobby Kotick hate. I like to do my research before making sweeping judgments, so I investigated this guy a little bit, and yeah, this guy totally deserves the hate.
Yeah, he sucks.
The dude's been obsessed with money since he was printing business cards for himself in the 6th grade. Jesus Christ, dude, who is your dad? Patrick Bateman? All this heartless billionaire seems to do is put pressure on his subordinates to take their game in a direction that financially preys upon their own player base. Some would argue that this makes your game more money.
Correct!
But some would argue that this ruins your company's image and the relationship with your gamers. But guess what? Bobby didn't even hear the second argument because he heard the first argument makes your game more money, so he's gonna do it. He doesn't care if the game breaks in fundamental ways. He cares about beating the competition and looking as good as possible for that yearly earnings call. And in Overwatch's case, that pressure...
Bro, when he addressed like the allegations with the workplace stuff, he sounded like such a corporate asshole. Dude, I feel like anybody, you don't even have to know Bobby Kotick to have seen through the absolute bullshit that he served up to the community about how they're addressing the workplace sexual harassment cases. Dude, he brushed that shit off. So I'm pretty sure he gave it like 2 sentences, like literally 2 sentences addressing it, and then he moved right on from it.
From Bobby was brought to a boiling point, dooming its sequel. In recent years, longtime leaders at Blizzard, people at the heart of games like World of Warcraft, Diablo, and StarCraft started leaving left and right. In 2016, Chris Metzen stepped away from Blizzard after 23 years with the company. In 2018, the co-founder and president of Blizzard, Mike Morhaime, stepped down after 27 years with the company. Also in 2018, right after he leaves, Diablo Immortal is announced.
Yep,
which was
that was like the first big name to leave.
Overwhelmingly negative reception and has now become the
What, do you guys not have phones? Bro, it was a keynote announcement. People were looking forward to the new Diablo game for so long, and then they hyped it up so much, and then they get up there and they're like, it's a new mobile game. God, I can watch that clip all day, man. The guy that comes up and he's like, yeah, is this some like early out of season April Fool's joke? And they're like, no.
Prime example of corporate greed in video games, making upwards of $2 million a day. And you might have heard the rumor that it costs $100,000 to max out a character in Diablo Immortal. That's not true. It costs $500,000. What are we even talking about? It's a mobile game character on your phone, not a fucking house. To say the least, this wasn't a great sign after losing the revered co-founder the same year. And the long list of people that leave Blizzard does not end there, especially for Overwatch's story. In 2020, the lead writer for Overwatch, Michael Chu, leaves after 20 years with the company. That was rough. And on April 20th,
that was rough. I remember that one too.
Just 2 months after BlizzCon,
dude, he was like, he literally wrote the stories, the narrative of Overwatch.
And Overwatch 2 leaves Blizzard. People were stunned and confused, and there was so much mystery and like conspiracy theories around this announcement. From Jeff's cryptic, all lowercase, paragraph-long goodbye to the critical timing of his departure. I mean, he leaves 2 months after.
Dude, he did capitalize a single word in there. That's such a goofy Jeff Kaplan thing to do too.
Just laid out the entire roadmap to this game's launch. Like, what the hell happened? To this day, the truth isn't completely revealed, but we have a lot of anonymous sources and a lot of puzzle pieces to start putting together to have a fairly educated guess. I don't doubt that Jeff's ambitious idea for a true PvE sequel for Overwatch was something actually worth building the hype for. But I think when it started, he proposed that he needed a lot of resources with a strong team that was going to be firing on all cylinders to pull it off. From an executive perspective, it was a big investment into an IP that wasn't generating as much money as other Blizzard titles, but they did decide to pull the trigger. However, once the game really starts getting into production, boom, 2020 happens and the pandemic starts. People start working from home and, their Zoom calls. I'm sure communication and productivity took a big hit in the beginning. And then you have Goblin Bobby checking in and he's not smelling enough money coming from this title. So the pressure from Bobby starts coming at Jeff Kaplan, telling him to make more microtransactions, make the game more money. I'm sure their ideologies clashed and Jeff needs to ask for more resources and Bobby isn't giving it to him because he's not believing that it's going to make more money. Meanwhile, Overwatch 1 is running on fumes in its abandoned state. And in the middle of all that, a tsunami just slams.
Bro, the memes that came out of Overwatch's dead period, like the 2 months, or not 2 months, 2 years, 2-3 years of no content coming to Overwatch. Despite that, we got so many good memes in those 3 years because everyone was still playing the OG Overwatch, but everyone was just complaining about how the game just doesn't change.
Through Blizzard with a bunch of sexual harassment allegations popping up left and right, putting the company in a horrible light. And no, it's not just like 1 or 2 special cases. Dude, like 40 people have been fired from Blizzard for sexual harassment claims. Who knows what impact that has on team morale or productivity?
Oh, I can't wait till he talks about Bobby's response to it.
Sure, Blizzard's a big company and a lot of teams don't interact with each other, but there's no denying that Blizzard started to look like a really ugly company to work for. And that pressure for Overwatch 2 to make a ton of money without ruining the game's image started to look like an unlikely reality, which results in Jeff leaving the company early so his name doesn't have to be attached to it. Or Bobby just straight up fired him and told him to leave the company. I don't think Jeff would necessarily give up on his game just to keep a better track record. And there's plenty of other theories about this subject out there, but I think most of what I said strikes true somewhat. Going back to the sequel's development, once Jeff leaves, instead of scrapping Overwatch 2 or pivoting direction or just calling it like it is and saying to the players, hey, we are not ready to make the sequel to Overwatch 2. Our leader just left. We don't have the vision. And we just want to make Overwatch 1 the best game possible right now. We're sorry for the wait, but once we're ready, we're going to deliver a badass sequel, and you guys are going to love it. Instead of those ideas, which would all be a hard pill to swallow,
they made us giant promises that they already knew they couldn't deliver on, which is what I like to say is the Blizzard classic. The over-promise and under-deliver. It's the one thing that you can always guarantee that Overwatch will do. They will never over-deliver on a promise. They will either very rarely meet that promise or, more commonly, completely fall short of that promise. So anytime I hear a big announcement from Overwatch, like, for example, the new Overwatch Esports League, I take it with a grain of salt. I like to take what they say and then half my expectations of what it's going to be. So it's just a smart way going forward, dude.
Keller takes the place of Jeff Kaplan.
Take my word for it, dude.
Assistant director of Overwatch 1. They decided to move forward with Overwatch 2, setting a release date of October 4th, 2022. But there's a catch. One small piece of the game won't be added yet. One small part. It's nothing to worry about.
I wonder.
The entire PvE side of the game, the main reason for this game's existence in the first...
Literally the game. So we're going to release this new game, but it's not going to have the game on it.
First place won't be added. But according to them, it's coming. It is coming. And let me tell you, well... Why tell you? Because it's definitely on the way. And hey, let me soften the blow. Let's make the game free. We'll make the game free. Oh wow, like 100% off when it comes out? No. It's even better. The game is gonna be free to play. As in, we're changing the entire monetization system in the game in a Hail Mary attempt to get the most amount of money off the most amount of people we can.
Hooray!
Come on, it's got a battle pass. You guys love those.
I know we've seen more and more games shift towards that.
I know we should talk the Battle Pass, but I do got to mention, I think the Battle Pass system actually works pretty well for Overwatch. I think it still does. $10 for a lot of cosmetics. actually not that bad. Charging people out the ass on the shop for these premium skins, though, is fucking criminal, dude.
Free-to-play model in recent years, and it really does seem like players have taken a liking to it, especially shooter fans.
By the way, Overwatch 2 almost got pushed to 2023, but instead they cut the game in half and released the PvP in 2022 so that their player base wouldn't riot. And I mean that literally, they would go play Riot's Valorant. Now things are about to get heated, but before I go in, I gotta talk about one person, and that is Aaron Keller, the director of Overwatch 2. This dude was put in a terrible position after Jeff left. He basically had to take all the future incoming failures of the sequel on the chin as the face of Overwatch. In my research, I watched so many videos of Aaron Keller looking miserable for 2 years straight, but he still tried to put on a brave face when he was talking about his game. And that's honorable.
First, how are you two doing?
I'm doing great, excited.
Yes, me too. So excited to be talking about this.
You gotta think, this guy had been at the company for almost 20 years. He's finally game director. But with all the promises of Overwatch 2, and then all the terrible shit that happened with Blizzard, he knows that he probably can't deliver on any of these things. And with the last director potentially being fired, he now has to deal with the looming pressure of replaceability hanging over his head anytime he tries to combat microtransactions or Bobby Kotick trying to ruin his game. That sucks. So finally, on October 4th of 2022, Overwatch 2 finally comes out. And I'll do my best to represent most of the fans' reception. Me and a bunch of friends started playing Overwatch 2.
Before I say this, Overwatch 2's reception, not that bad. A lot, like, I would say just about all the changes that they made in Overwatch 2, I actually liked, especially in the beginning. I really liked. Like, you might find this hard to believe, but I actually thought one of the best changes was the Orisa changes. I thought the Javelin and the Spin was a great trade-off for the shield in the pool. Now, I missed the pool, obviously, but I was like, you know what? This isn't that bad. And like the Mei increased damage, you know, they changed some other stuff. I mean, obviously Doom went to a tank, which bless, dude. Oh my God, man. I could not go back to Overwatch 1 if they put Doom as a DPS again. I couldn't do it. I was getting one-tapped as a Mei player. Just punched into a wall out of nowhere and dying. Oh, blah.
And you know what? It was actually really fun. I hadn't played Overwatch in years at this point, and it reminded me how good this game was. It felt just like it used to in Overwatch 1. Because it is Overwatch 1. With 3 new characters and a couple new maps. 3 new characters?
They rolled it back.
It's been fucking 3 years.
They rolled it back. In my perspective, it was, okay, we fucked up. We're going to roll it back to what Overwatch 1 made it so much fun. We're going to invest in that. We're going to take out shields. We're going to take out CC. We're going to remove all that nonsense and let you guys have fun with an enjoyable game. And that's what I was excited. I was like, cool. All right, let's stop messing around, dude. Let's just make the game good again. Which it was. I think it was good. It was a good plan.
This PvE content better blow my dick off when it comes out, and it better be fucking free. Also, I took a look at your new store. Thanks for making skins that I used to get for free, now $20 a pop. Yeah. What are these skins for these new champions? These legendary skins. This girl gets a fucking jacket for $20 a jacket. And Sojourn's gun doesn't even change. And what the hell is the theme supposed to be for Junker Queen skins? More Junker Queen? This blows. Also, if I haven't been clear, you can't go back to Overwatch 1. It is merged into Overwatch 2. The game you paid for, where you unlock things by playing, is now a game that you paid for, where you unlock things not by playing the game, but by paying. So when are we actually gonna get this PvE thing?
The Galaxy Sheep Orisa, Cardboard Reinhardt.
The Overwatch devs come out. Hey, we've been hard at work on it, and we have an announcement. The PvE is canceled.
With everything we've learned about what it takes to operate this game at the level that we deserve, it's clear that
our boy,
we can't deliver on that original vision for PvE that was shown in 2019.
Our boy. Dude, I wonder if he knew in that moment when he announced that we couldn't deliver on our original promise of the PvE, if he realized how many people worldwide, when he said that sentence, he just shook the foundation of the player base, the hardest it's ever been shook. Bro, that was a depressing time of Overwatch. It was probably a good month and a half before I could even look at the game again.
What kind of Scott's Tots parody of a development is this game? Why did you make the sequel?
I've made some empty promises in my life, but hands down, that was the most generous.
You left Overwatch 1 in the dust for 2 years to give us nothing? Why?
Hold on.
Scott's tots.
Hold on, they're lithium.
Why did you do this? Because money, baby. Welcome to Bobby's last hurrah. I've got a question. Is the reason that PvE was delayed because you guys didn't have time to add it? Or was it because you guys were building out the store, strategizing every possible underhanded way to make the player spend more money? Are you actually expecting me to buy this funky fucking Doomfist skin for 36 American dollars?
Don't shit talk the Doom Funk skin. I didn't buy it, but if I was a Doom player, I would. Careful. I might spend $20 on that if I played Doom.
Are you mad? That is not $5, not $10, not even $20. That is somewhere in the middle of the $20 and $50 packs of coins that you could get. By the way, 10% bonus when you go up to 50, which is like doubling your amount last time. You only get 4% more bonus. Come on. Come on! It's always just weird to me too, like in these games. It's a first-person shooter, so like $36 is changing your fucking hand. For reference, 100 Overwatch coins is $1. But hey, these skins are part of a bundle and it's on sale. Please have a souvenir. Oh, that's okay. We have a player icon. Oh, dude, they got a spray? Dude, I can put this on the wall. My team's gonna be like, what? Your sales are completely arbitrary. What are you, running out of digital skins? And I do mean that these sales are arbitrary. Like literally, you would think this Polar Hog skin is worth 2,100. It's not. In the hero gallery, it's worth 1,900 coins. So you're actually getting a cost increase for 4 useless items like icons and sprays.
The emote's cool. The emote's cool.
But according to their discount, they think these 4 items are worth 1,400 additional Overwatch coins, aka $15. You just have these percentages off to make it feel like we're getting the deal of a lifetime. You're saying you would actually sell us multiple bundles for $90 a pop? Oh, but it's $15 now. Well, we don't sell $15 packages of Overwatch coins, so you're gonna have to spend 20. Geez, it's slimy as shit. And everything in the store is a bundle. It's the most low effort.
Yeah, it's the store. I mean, that's my biggest complaint is the individual, like the store sales. The battle pass has been great. I think they rolled it out great. They deliver enough in it to make people enjoy it. It's easy to finish your battle pass. It's not like a mega grind to finish it up. But man, dude, I don't know where they get the idea, especially for the recolors. Oh my God, I hope he talks about the recolors. I don't know where they get off thinking they can charge $20 for a recolor. I'm not saying people buy it. You can buy what you want. Yeah, but like in their heads, right? In their heads, someone made the decision that said, hey, let's change the colors on this. Oh, how much should we charge? $20? Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. That sounds like we're giving a lot of value for the work that we put in for that.
For blatant way of making players spend more money than they have to. What the fuck is all this kitschy shit that you think is worth another 1,700 Overwatch coins? What the fuck is a souvenir? Guess what? I googled it and everybody is questioning its entire existence.
Yeah, nobody cares about it.
It's worth $5 a pop. You think this coffee mug emote that nobody gives a rat's dick about is worth as much as a real coffee mug? Also, have you seen how microscopic these charms are in game? You think this 3-pixel wide bubble chicken is worth $7? Oh, and of course, like every money grubbing game, you have to have more.
I like my latte weapon charm. Okay, you can't go after the sprays, go after the souvenirs, go after the player cards, go after the icons. I don't care, but you don't touch my weapon charms, dude, because the weapon charms are actually super cute. Okay, it's one of the few things that Overwatch added that kind of slap. All right.
More than one currency, because one currency is just too easy to understand. Get this. Overwatch marks the prices in the hero gallery to make you think that skins cost Overwatch coins. But if you have enough credits, you can buy most of them with free credits. Well, not free credits, credits that you get from the Battle Pass. Oh yeah, the Battle Pass. How about we get into that? The Battle Pass is worth $10 of Overwatch coins for 9 weeks of content with 80 items inside, 75 of which are absolute worthless dog shit. I'm not even exaggerating. There were 3 items I wanted in this Battle Pass.
I still think it's a good value.
I wanted Malga, the new OP hero that just came out, which yes, this basically does mean we have to.
They come with like what? Battle Pass comes with like 5 or 6 skins. Usually like 2 of them are bangers. It comes with a bunch of sprays, icons, voice lines, souvenirs, like all the weapon charms, emotes. There's usually a couple banger emotes, couple banger skins, usually like one really good player card, you know. I don't, you know, and like some good weapon charms too. For $10, I'm saying, I think you're hating on nothing right now, dude. $10 for that much is not, especially for Blizzard. It's really not that much. I can't get angry at that. The battle pass, if I buy anything, is the best value to get in Overwatch.
Pay for new characters now. We'll get into that. I wanted Mauga's skin, which comes in at level 60, and I wanted Orisa's mythic skin, which is the last level 80 of the battle pass. And honestly, I barely even wanted this skin. It's just a mythic skin. It looks awesome. I barely even fucking play Orisa. There is a couple more skins.
Stop. He just said the Orisa mythic skin is good. Okay, no. I love Jack Sather. I love his videos, but man, that's like the third L take in a row, dude. I'm sorry, man. Those are some L takes, brother. That is the worst mythic skin I have seen in these battle passes. He just said that was good. Oh, I don't even know if I can take anything else after this seriously.
In the battle pass,
that's a tough one, man.
Bullshit and basic they are. Like, I literally thought this was Junkrat's standard Overwatch 2 skin. But hey, at least we get our Overwatch coins back from the battle pass, right? Nope, you don't. You get credits in the battle pass, 2,000 of them in total, not the premium currency. To buy the battle pass, you need premium Overwatch coins. Or you could buy the ultimate pass bundle for quadruple the price of $40. So when this season ends, instead of being able to buy the battle pass back after you leveled all the way through it, like most other battle passes do, you know, that rewards you for playing their game, after this season ends, Overwatch 2 is gonna make you pay an additional $10 to get the next battle pass. Isn't that cool? Now back to paying for characters.
To be fair, if you get the $40 battle pass, it gives you what, 20,000 coins. Like, it gives you enough to get the next 2 battle passes, plus you get like an exclusive skin, right? So it's like you get that battle pass, you get however many coins, 2,000, right? You get $20 worth of coins or whatever. You get those coins, and then you get like usually I think it's like 2, right? For like the ultimate, you like 2 like usually pretty decent skins too. Again, not that bad of a deal.
Buy the battle pass and immediately get Mauga.
Then you just use those coins for the next battle passes. I don't think it's a bad.
Or you could wait till level 45 of the
I don't know why I'm defending over like Blizzard right now.
All you have to do is endure playing 100 games against him as you get mowed down and the rest of your team gets turned into Swiss cheese. That's how you get the newest character. For other newer characters, you either have to buy them for $9, which of course the game makes it seem like it's the only option, or if you read in this tiny small text, you can unlock them through challenges. And by challenges, they mean one challenge and a brief tutorial. And this one challenge isn't a challenge, it's a chore. The chore is to complete 50 games as the fill role or win 35 games as either the support or the tank. And I know what you're thinking. Well, at least you can track all those challenges at once and just do the fill role, play 50 games, and boom, you got the full roster. No, my friend. This is Bobby's last hurrah. There's no wiggle room here. We gotta make hay while the sun is shining. So that means you either buy the new heroes or you get your fucking ass out there as the fill role and get cracking on those 200 games. You wanna hear the biggest joke about Overwatch 2? They canceled the PvE, right? Turns out they didn't exactly. They actually are releasing it just in parts and with 0 of the cool features.
I've never not had the battle pass, so I don't know what the experience is like for people that play the free, like not battle pass version. I don't really know what that's like, but if you really got to play 200 games, dude, to unlock a character, woof.
That made it worth playing. No leveling up your heroes, no ability changes, no talent trees. Oh, and you have to pay for it. That'll be another $10, please. So I bought it. It's their Invasion story mode. And I am not kidding. I would rather be stuck having to play the day before than this bullshit. First of all, what the hell is
it was lame. I played it once and then didn't ever again.
How many times are we gonna do it?
That's not my life anymore.
I think that's what really kind of put the nail in the coffin for me with like the PvE was like, I didn't like the archives missions. Like they were fun for one playthrough, but the replayability was just not there. And they were like, no. It's going to be way more fun. And like, when I heard that, I was like, really? Is it really? And then it came out. I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. You know, we're playing Overwatch or whatever. And I can tell you I had about the same amount of fun playing the new missions than I did the archive missions. They were just not replayable at all, frankly. It was just, you play through them, you finish the challenges, and then it's like, why would I ever go back and play this? Why?
Lot of work to do out there. No, not me.
You know I can't join Overwatch. Robots attack. Fine, I'll join Overwatch. The biggest issue is that the combat situations in these missions.
Did this guy just sum up the entire plot of Overwatch in less than 5 seconds?
Are the smallest sidestep away from being another practice range. Looks like they forgot about all that feedback that was saying to make it more engaging. Overwatch 2, more like practice range 2. Fucking boom. At least we still get the seasonal events. Winter Wonderland. That'll be $5 too. Good. Are you fucking kidding me? Why?
Oh my God. The thing that pissed me off about this the most was the fact that even if you unlocked the premium edition, you couldn't get everything in the thing. You couldn't get everything they offered. Even if you unlocked the premium, you couldn't get every skin. Dude, that blew my mind. That blew my mind. That the only reason I was able to get everything was because I had already unlocked like 2 of the skins, like 2 of the big skins already. So I didn't have to like spend tickets on them. Dude.
I want to support this game. Why would I want to support Overwatch 2 while it's actively preying on me? So that's the player's perspective. Now for a more even-keeled approach. No, I'm just kidding. That was like pretty much all the way I felt. The game is being ruined. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think there is a small shot at redemption here. Why, you may ask? Because Microsoft just bought Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion.
I don't care. I don't care what change happened. I've been saying this for years, dude. Like exactly what he said is like, dude, they can make this game great again if they ... and then they don't do it. And then they do something else that gives me hope. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. This game can come back if they ... And then they don't do it. And then it gets worse. And then something else comes along that's like gives me a little bit of hope. I'm like, oh, cool, nice. This game probably could be another contender for a really popular game if they ... And then they and then Malga. And then Malga.
And that means that Bobby Kotick has left at the beginning of January in 2024. The Goblin King himself has left the town village with a lot of money. But the people are free, except they're owned by Microsoft now, who is buying everything and everyone. Here's just a few games that Microsoft owns now. Call of Duty, Halo, Minecraft, Diablo, World of Warcraft, Skyrim, Starfield, Fallout, Forza, Overwatch 2, Candy Crush,
Overwatch 2,
StarCraft, Gears of War, Dishonored, Flight Simulator, Hearthstone, Sea of Thieves, Age of Empires, and Redfall. Yes, they bought the shitty games too. Did you also notice that a lot of these games are like suffering from like player approval lately? I mean, look at Call of Duty today. Look at the latest Forza game. And you guys know how I feel about Starfield. Maybe you don't, but watch my video. Give me a subscribe.
He did a really good video on Starfield.
Really celebrating this. The only positive thing that I could see in this is that Aaron Keller, the director of Overwatch 2, has a new boss, Microsoft's game content and studio president, Matt Booty. It's the perfect time for Keller to form a good relationship with Booty. That way, if he does mean best for the players, he can present a better path for Overwatch 2's future. To most people's surprise, Overwatch 2 is actually not dead. I would even say far from it. You might think that because it has overwhelmingly negative reviews on Steam, which, by the way, they announced the PvE cancellation in May of 2023. You know, the most devastating news in the game's history. The next month, on August 10th, someone decides to put the game on Steam where everyone can say what they think about their game and label its reception. Whose ridiculously stupid, masochistic idea was this? You just set up the absolute perfect time for everyone and their mother other to vent every rageful thought, every harsh criticism, and every Overwatch porn joke they could think of for the last 2 years. Overnight, it became the most negatively reviewed game in Steam history. I'm sure that was fun for the team to hear. I'm not gonna lie, my initial concept for this video was from seeing those overwhelmingly negative reviews, and I was like, holy shit, that game died hard. That must be ruined. And then I told a buddy of mine that, and he was like, actually, Overwatch 2 had just hit its like second highest peak in player count history. And I was like, damn it. Is Overwatch ruined? Anyway, it's a difficult thing to point out the good when the game is so blatantly disrespecting it.
When it's kind of been the same thing for a while now, is that Overwatch is always going to have its own ecosystem. Its player base is always going to be there. Unless they just stop delivering on the game, that player base is always going to be there, no matter how much they just punch down on them. Because it's a fun game. I mean, at its core, Overwatch is a fun game. That's what's so sad about it, is that it's such a fun game and has so much potential. And then you just like keep dropping the ball on like what they could make into an amazing community that will take a little bit of time, a little bit of effort before they see massive returns. But the company, the people that have been in charge, when Overwatch first came out, obviously that was their vision, but very quickly shifted away from that. And it's like, dude, you could, this is a game that can go for the long run. It really could. But I feel like a lot of the decisions they make, especially slapping a 2 on it, dude, I feel like if you just leave Overwatch as what Overwatch was and just constantly update it, be a household name game that's always changing, ever growing. Things are always going on in the ecosystem of Overwatch. Even though the game's changing, the core is not. And it's just every decision they make just takes away from that core. It just chips it out a little bit more. I think it's always going to be there. I think they lost their chance at growing. And this is what we got to settle with. That's it. I've said it. You got to play the game for what it is. You can't play the game for what it could be. You got to play the game for what it is now. And Overwatch is what Overwatch is today, right now. It doesn't matter what they promise. Doesn't matter what company buys them. Overwatch is Overwatch right now. And that's what you got to judge it by. That's what you got to set the metrics for. You can't expect anything about the future. No matter how much they tell you, dude, history has told you that it doesn't matter what the fuck they promise. They're going to do whatever they want, you know?
Its players. That being said, there has been some really good improvements to the Overwatch's core gameplay. Number one for me, their queue times are no longer an issue. I feel like it's on average like 30 seconds to get to a game.
Tell that to the support
2
players.
minutes when you're selected as a damage roll, but that's a rare occasion. Here's a huge thing. I actually love playing tank and support now, to the point where I think I prefer playing support heroes over damage heroes now. I
Tank
consider
sucks.
myself a Reinhardt main now.
Sorry,
and
I'm not going to
Lari is a
elaborate on that.
blast to
Tank just
play as a
sucks.
support. Every hero, regardless of role, feels like they have
Like
the
if
right
you
amount
agree.
of offensive capabilities now, instead of just being a shield or just being a healer. And I'm definitely not saying the game is perfectly balanced. I mean, Mauga just got his first like nerf, thank God. That guy is a fucking problem. But I do enjoy their reworks of characters. Like Sombra is like now my favorite damager character to play.
She's
more
kinda cool.
ninja than Genji, and her SMG is absolutely lethal feeling.
See you, Genji.
Those are the good things that I can think of. But as far as graphics, sound
Did
design,
he play Sombra before they buffed her EMP? I wonder. Did you play Sombra with the cosmetic ultimate, or?
arguably the maps.
So I
and
feel like
the
if
new
you would, you
game
probably
modes,
would have mentioned that.
Everything feels pretty much the same as Overwatch 1 to me. And I don't mean to discredit the work of the developers. I'm just bringing you the truth, no matter how bad it hurts. And they may have the players now, but I guarantee there's ways to get way more players back on your side, way more players in your game, and for them to also stick around longer.
They're not going to do it.
I'm less than a month into the game.
Save your breath, brother. Save your breath.
Pass, and truly, with no bias attached to this, I've like stopped playing Overwatch like already, and I had fun. There's just like no incentive or reward system to keep playing. They have a chance, a small window right now to get a strong footing and restore a lot of goodwill if they made some dramatic changes to the game.
Sorry, it's gone.
I'm sorry, but it's gonna probably look like you're making less money for a moment. But the Goblin's not around anymore, okay?
See, that's the problem. That's the problem, is they've got to deal with not making money on it for a little while to build up to what it could be. And these short-term games that they're. I think Bobby obviously was an issue, but I think there's a lot more. I don't think we're done yet. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think we're done with what. I don't think you can pin everything on them. You can pin a lot, but I think it's going to be a long time before Overwatch knows what to do. And frankly, I think it's going to be too late by the time they figure out what they needed to do.
No more using Bobby as an excuse. Here's the things that I would recommend. After hours and hours of research of what players are saying about your game, this would mend a lot of the damage done. Besides the PvE thing, that thing is, you're fucked there, sorry. To start things off, make one currency, period. Done, it's out of the way. You're far enough away from Overwatch 1, you don't need to have a legacy credit system. Transition those credits into Overwatch coins. Second.
Oh, dude, if they transition my legacy credits into Overwatch coins 1-to-1, I would have 42,000 credits, chat. That's $420 worth of credits. Oh, that would be so good. And then what do I do with my 30,000 competitive points? What are they going to do with my 30,000 competitive points that I have? I can't buy any more golden guns, dude. I haven't been able to buy a new golden gun since like season 10 of Overwatch 1. I've just been stockpiling them for every new hero that comes out. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, let's get their gold gun.
Your battle pass needs a heavy rework, and I'm not saying you need to get rid of it. First of all, any currency that you get in the battle pass has to be Overwatch credits. You have to be able to let us buy back the battle pass. That is such a simple line drive to get some respect back from your players, and Fortnite fucking does this. Their wallet ain't hurting. The biggest problem I've had with the battle pass is that there's rarely something to look forward to, and it's even rarer for it to be for one of the characters that I mainly play. And if it actually is, it's buried so deep into the battle pass, I can't even see it over the horizon. I'm just endlessly chugging through bullshit emotes and player icons and useless voice lines. Like, the battle pass just needs more versatility. I think you should have an option for epic and legendary skins in the battle pass, hear me out, to let you miss out on them because you don't like the skin in exchange for the ability to cash them in for Overwatch coins so we can use them in the hero gallery and select what skin we would want. You have so many skins in the game, just show a little bit of generosity. Another massive issue right now is having Maga or any of the new champions behind a paywall. It's arguably pay to win at this point, especially if the champion is broken, which Maga is. Once you finish the battle pass, what the hell else are you supposed to do? You need to give us some sort of organic way of making currency, even if it's small for playing games, like 10 Overwatch coins for losing a game, 20 for winning one. This would heavily incentivize players to keep on playing even when they're kind of getting bored of the game. It's like, well, at least I'm getting something. And you could also use this system to incentivize players to choose different roles. I also don't see any good rewards for participating in your guys' challenges. I think you should make skins that are solely made for challenges in Overwatch. They suck. Really difficult challenges, like get 10,000 headshots with Hanzo, and it unlocks this special legendary skin. I made a quick concept for what one of them would look like. I know it starts off as like a Troubled Teens notebook drawing, but it gets better, trust me. And maybe there's like tiers to this challenge. Like every time you break a new tier, you get like a color change for this skin. So if you saw like an obsidian black legendary Hanzo skin, it's like, damn, that guy's shot a million guys in the head. That's intense. We just need things to work towards. And you gotta get rid of the bullshit.
That's what got me so addicted to Call of Duty back in the day, was that they had challenges and like player cards for if you would get a certain amount of kills with certain weapons. So I made it like my sole duty to get as many kills with like the Free Fire rocket launcher as possible. And I think I got close to like 15,000 or something kills on it, which unlocks like a special tag that says this goofy little thing on it. Dude, it was so much fun grinding for that.
Getting rid of souvenirs in general would be a very good look. And things like, dude, like the just for you section in the store, like what are these options? My last 4 options were all skins at full price that are already in the hero gallery. Is this just here to remind me that I can buy them? I'd expect them to be like some sort of like Vault Halloween skins or something like that, or at least put them on sale. This spot is literally worthless. And I don't think there's like total shame in having a store, but just, can you not be so fucking predatory with it? 9,000 coin bundles, are you kidding me? Can we see reason? I think there's an argument to be made that Overwatch is making less money off of its current system than the one that I'm proposing. It might take a second to catch on, but Jack, you're talking about giving the players free money. Yes, Money that they've earned for playing your game. You took everything that we used to get for free for supporting your game and put it behind a paywall. Players feel incredibly disrespected and you've broken their trust. A lot of players aren't coming back to Overwatch for that reason. Not because Overwatch isn't a fun game, it's because you fucked them. But as toxic of parts of gaming communities can
That's it. Overwatch is fun. We're just tired of getting fucked.
be, me included, gamers
at its core,
aren't
you're always
blind
going to have the
a
player
redemption
base because it's a
story.
fun game.
Like, look at Cyberpunk, look at No Man's Sky. You could end up with a whole nother avenue of players coming into your game if that Steam review wasn't overwhelmingly negative on all fronts. If the recents started switching to a positive review, that would start definitely turning some heads. Your game is good, Blizzard, and you have a quality team. And yes, you've definitely made your mistakes, but now is the time to start correcting them.
That's what I said.
And if you don't, your game just might end up ruined.
That's what I said before Overwatch 2 dropped. And I'm
before you go, make sure to check out today.
I'm sorry, dude. It's just wishful thinking. No. Again, I'm not gonna get any hope, chat. I'm gonna recommend to you as well. Just enjoy Overwatch for what it is. You know what I mean? And also go sub to Jack Sather, dude. His videos frickin' slap. Go sub to that baby, dude.